Hey Scott.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough to leave the show with one of our new B.A.S. rod spooling racks. I know how to set it up, put the rods in, but I'm a little confused about how to spin my rod or get the line.
I'll use the line spooling station.
Use the line spooling station.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. You know, it's the rod rack has a lot of features. You know, you can store up to 10 combos on it, and we can adjust the height of the reels based on the cup locations. So it's real easy to get them on and off. But you're right, it can be intimidating, but it's actually very simple on how you use the line spooling station. And you can spool up spinning reels and casting reels without any line twist.
That's awesome.
Okay, Kristen, so I know it can be intimidating, but it's actually really easy to use. You can spool up spinning reels and casting reels. So let me take you through it, and you'll be a pro by the time we're done.
Awesome, looking forward to learning.
Great. Okay, Kristen. Now, what's critical, you probably know this, when you're spooling up a spinning reel, it's really important not to get any line twist, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people have problems inducing line twist into their reels when they're spooling up their reels. So this is designed to eliminate the line twist. But what's really cool is you have a fixture here. We're going to replace one of these rod clips, and we'll spool up a reel. Okay.
All right.
So the first thing you need to do is remove this rod clip. So just press on the left side of that rod clip, and it'll unlatch from the mechanism that's holding it in place. So just push on this side right here.
Push on that side.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
This way.
Push this way. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right. So you just want to set that aside.
All right. Set that down there.
And then you can take the spooling fixture out, and you kind of put it in the same way. So you want to mount it so it goes down and it's kind of to the left side.
This part on top?
That part on top.
Okay.
Yep.
So
you want to move it over because you want to line up those tabs that are in there.
A little short, so I gotta sit on my tippy toes.
I know, I should have put this a little lower for you. And then twist to the right.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
So now it's all in place, right?
All right.
Now what we do is we take our line and our T-handle.
Okay.
So the T-handle has a flat spot on it, and that lines up with the keyhole inside this hole.
Okay.
And what's really important here, and this is where we make sure that we don't get any line twists. So you can see we've added some cues that are molded into the spooling fixture.
Okay.
So the spool should spin this way when you pull on it.
All right.
So if you hold the spool and then pull the line, it should spin that direction. That way you know the spool is in the correct orientation. So you put your T-handle through the middle.
Okay.
And line up the teeth there with that tooth on the bottom.
There we
Slide it in.
Okay.
And then you twist it about 270 degrees and it'll lock it. So turn that T-handle.
Turn this one.
Yeah, go the other way.
Up, other way.
Yep. Now you want it, and it should stop. See how it stops?
There we go. Yeah.
Now, this is too tight.
Okay.
Okay, because you want to have it really loose so it spins freely.
Okay.
So you want to loosen it up, pull it out a little bit, and then tighten it back down.
Okay.
Now it spins freely, right?
Okay, yes.
So that's the way we want it.
All right.
Now you take this line and just run it through the line guide right there.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
There we go.
And then we run it back to your spinning reel and usually go through at least the stripper guide. Okay? And then tie it off to your reel.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that's important here is this is what we call our line boss. So you can see we've got a stainless steel eyelet in the middle, so you run your line through that and then up through the guide.
Okay.
Now you want to change the tension so you get enough tension on your line as you're spooling onto your reel. So this collar here slides up and down. So you can take the collar and tighten it up to wherever you need to, or loosen it if it's too tight, and then you're good to go.
Awesome.
So let's tie it off to your reel and spool up a little bit and see what it looks like.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, Kristen, so we've got the knot tied on your reel. You got your bail down.
Bail's down.
We got the tension band set the right way. So go ahead and start spooling up your reel.
All right, I'm reeling.
Yes. So tension's good. We don't need to adjust it. Okay.
Feels good.
Now you can just spool it all the way up till you know you're about an 1/8 inch from the top of the spool, and we should be good to go.
It's a lot easier than using my pencil.
It is. And your fingers don't get hurt.
No.
Burning them on the spool either.
This is awesome.
Okay, Kristen, what do you think?
I think this is great. It feels very smooth. It's going on. There's good tension in the line.
You know, the old days of putting a spool on a pencil and then pressing your fingers on the spool to get the tension you want. You don't need to do that anymore, especially with the line boss from KastKing, right?
I always have to call up my little sister and make her come over and help me, and she has no idea what she's doing. So this is going to make my life a lot easier.
Either that or the spool just runs all over the floor because you're just
I've done that.
And,
way too many times and wasted way too much line. So no, this is awesome.
That's right.
Look at that. That's going on so nicely.
It is.
All right, Scott, so I think I've filled my spool. Yes.
Okay, great. So now all we need to do is we can cut the line.
Okay.
And then we take the spool off. And what's nice about that, you just cut it off up here, and we've got the line boss on there. So that's going to keep the line on your spool. It's not going to uncoil and go all over the place. So you don't have to mess with those stickers to try and hold it on, or the slots in the side of the spool that never hold the line. It works great just for keeping your spools in order and managing the line so it doesn't go all over the place.
That's awesome.
So you got a baitcast reel?
I got a baitcaster reel.
So now let's take this off.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to take this off, and we'll get it set up for spooling up a baitcast reel.
All right, awesome. Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so now we've got the spool off the spooling fixture for spinning reel. We're going to take the spooling fixture and mount it back in the storage position.
Okay, so I
just twist it towards you.
Towards me.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go. Right, and the line guide, you're correct. The line guide needs to go back here towards the spools.
Line by the spools, or line guide by the spools.
Right.
Okay.
Now, we have this rod clip that we can replace back in the rod rack, but we're going to leave it off for now.
Okay.
And we can add that later because we might want to spool up some more spinning reels.
Yeah.
Okay. So to do a casting reel, you got to get the right line on your shaft back here. So we've got a locking shaft also. So if you take the shaft and slide it to the left, then you can lift up the right side. Okay. And we've already got our spools on here, so I'm going to put it back down and slide it to the right, and that locks it in place so it's not going to come out. And so for a casting reel, you want to bring your line off the top of the spool of your spool back here, your supply spool, through the line guide, and then to the top of the spool of your casting reel.
Okay.
So it's going to come off the top from to the top of the spool on the reel, and you won't have any line twist. So that's the key for that. Okay. So let's run our line. Let's do this line and run it through the line guide.
I like the pink. All right.
Yeah,
so I get a little.
One of your favorite colors, probably, right?
I do. All right, here we go. So let me get around these rods.
Yeah, it's a little tricky with all the rods in the way.
So I'm going to thread it through the middle.
Right.
Pull that through.
Pull it through, and now we'll go through the guides on your rod.
Okay.
Back to your reel. We'll tie it off, and we'll spool it up. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Kristen, you got it tied off. We're all ready to go. One thing you got to remember, the line guide here is right at this height, so you want to keep your tip a little low.
Okay.
Otherwise, it might pull the spooling fixture right out of the holder. So go ahead and spool up your reel.
All right.
How's the tension? Does it feel okay?
It feels great.
Okay.
It's spooling very well.
Because if it's too much or not enough, we can adjust the line boss here to get the right tension that you need.
Now this looks good. It's going on very even.
Awesome.
This is so much easier than asking my sister to help me.
I know, right? It works really well, and you can store all sorts of different spools on here too. So even when you're not spooling up a reel, just store your extra spools right on the shaft there, and you know where they're at all times.
This is awesome.
You can go as fast as you want too, so go ahead and burn it. See how fast you can spool up your reel. We need to get you a high capacity reel, get the Speed Demon Elite reel, and see how fast you can spool up a reel.
How's that? I'm going fast.
That's really fast. In fact, I think you're going to overload your spool.
I think I might be. I think I'm getting to the end.
All right. Are we good?
All right, Scott. I think I have enough line on my reel now. What's my next step?
So then we just want to pull out a little extra line just to make sure we leave plenty to either tie off to a lure.
Okay.
Or we can tie it onto your rod so you can tie something on later. So I'm just going to cut this line, if I can find it. And then you should be good to go.
Awesome.
So what'd you think?
All right.
That really wasn't too hard, was it?
That was so easy. I mean, honestly, I don't want to say if I can do it, anyone can do it, but if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, it'll get easier too once you kind of understand, you know, the orientation of the spool and how it needs to come off the spool and onto your spinning or your casting reel, and you should be good to go. So,
like I said, you don't need a pencil, you don't need your little sister.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Great job.
Thank you.
All
Great
right.
product.
Yep. Thank you.